Yo, what's up, everybody? This is HBT with the Straight Up Wrestling Show. I'm coming to you live, man. I don't know how long I'm going to be on here because a little bit later I will be going over to Christopher Burton's house. And pretty much Christopher Burton and I, we're going to pretty much sit down, man. We're going to check out these WWE rosters from SmackDown, Raw, and NXT. Pretty much check those out. And we're going to go ahead and lay down the plans. I'll talk about a little later. We're going to do a show. We want to talk about the draft. So basically, we're going to have our own draft. So that right there is something that, you guys out here should be excited to see. That's something that we have been asked to do. So that's something that we both are going to do. We're going to get out here. We're going to do a draft, man. So everybody can enjoy what we think. And we're going to see how all that plays out, man. How all that plays out. Who picks who. And hey, maybe you guys can determine who has the best roster. But we definitely gonna pick. Go ahead and pick have our roster picks. I'm pretty sure a lot of surprises are gonna be in there. I know on my side it's gonna be definitely a lot of surprises because the way I look at it, it might not necessarily be a big star today that's gonna be in the top echelon. To one of my top picks. So hey, we'll see how all that plays out. Between Chris and I. So, man, but, before we get all into that, I definitely want to talk about some of the things that I put up here. I'm not exactly sure exactly what I put up here, but I know it's about, hey, I know it's about I'm basically talking about, the chaos that's going on in wrestling, the madness that's going on in wrestling. Just a second, guys. I meant to turn this down. But I definitely want to go ahead and talk about that. So give me a moment, guys, and I will let you know exactly because I want you guys to be exactly on what we're talking about here. All right. Okay. But yeah, this is called Wrestling Fans. Okay, I see we're on. Wrestling Fans, when will the madness stop? Okay, so this is about wrestling fans. When will the madness stop? Talent is constantly being wasted on nonsense. And what's up to my man, Jocko Robinson, from all the way from South Africa. Jocko, I appreciate you joining me here, man. But yeah, we definitely going to talk about that. We definitely going to talk about the madness in wrestling. Hey, basically, like I said, I want to know when it's going to stop. Talent is definitely being wasted in wrestling. 100%. Last night, I don't know if you was here for the stream. I think, there was some people, there was a good bit of people dropped in for the stream, but I watched AEW Dynamite live last night. Basically we went over that AEW Dynamite live last night. Could have been a very good show. I ended up giving it, I think, 3 stars, but the show could have been more than 3 stars, man. But, they had constant interference all night long, constant interference. I mean, you have the Blackpool Combat Club. Nobody can ever get anywhere with these guys. It's never anything, never any one-on-one. It's always somebody getting jumped, someone always being attacked. That's what it is about the Blackpool Combat Club. And since Bryan Danielson has come in and pretty much fully immersed himself into the Blackpool Combat Club, and he's part of this thing now. And that's what I'm talking about. Talent being wasted. Somebody like Bryan Danielson, the guy has immense talent, should be vying for the World Heavyweight Championship or should be vying for one of these championships. He's being wasted in that nonsense. Another guy out of that group, Claudio Castagnoli, he's the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion. But hey, he should be representing his title even on the big stage of AEW when he gets the chance. But they have him in this nonsense of attacking people along with Wheeler Yuta and Dean Ambrose, or whatever you want to call him today, Jon Moxley. They are constantly just attacking people before the bell. If they got a match against somebody, it doesn't matter if it's just one of them. They attack that person from behind or whatever before the bell, and it's all of them jump this guy. So that's, that kind of stuff, it gets to the point where it's nonsense. It's okay the first couple times, you're trying to establish yourself. You're trying to show people, hey, we're bad, we're this, we're that. But it's constant, man, all the flipping time. And then last night, man, last night you had that happen, and you know, Adam Cole getting jumped. No, Jericho Appreciation Society jumping. They jumped Adam Cole, and then you had Britt Baker come out there to defend her husband, and then you had the Outcast. Those three girls, you know, Paige, Toni Storm, and Ruby Soho. They attacked Britt Baker. You know, unbelievable, man. Unflipping believable. And it was back to back after the Jericho Appreciation Society attack. I mean, not the Jericho Appreciation Society's attack. The Blackpool Combat Club, what they did. So it was two of them back to back. But all night long, man, it was interference. Nothing went down to where it was one-on-one. You know, one-on-one. I was looking for a one-on-one man-on-man competition. The only thing they had, I think, that was like one-on-one, I think that was the Powerhouse Hobbs match and Warlord match. That right there basically was one-on-one. But you did, like I said, you did have Arn Anderson get involved with that match. And you did have QT Marshall get involved in that match. But, man, I mean, it's just so much. They just cannot stop. They can't stop doing it. So, I mean, it's gotten to a point, man, where it's just flat out ridiculous. And last night I watched, early this morning, I watched, because Friday night, me and Chris, we missed SmackDown and we missed Ring of Honor. So I ended up watching SmackDown and Ring of Honor. Same thing on SmackDown. Same thing. Attack after attack after attack. That's what they have. And it's not just AEW. So don't think I'm harping on AEW. WWE has the same problem. Monday Night Raw. Attack after attack after attack. SmackDown, same way. SmackDown had like a 3.5 star show, but it dropped all the way down. I dropped that thing down to 2 stars. And it's been a while since I gave SmackDown 2 stars, and I will be putting my review up of SmackDown. But I gave that thing 2 stars, man, because it was just constant interference the whole night. And I have to say, hey, wrestling, man, is it robbing us? I feel like I'm being robbed, man. I mean, just straight up. I feel they are robbing me. I feel they are robbing wrestling fans of their time. You know, I have reached out and asked people, hey, you need to go back. You need to start watching wrestling again. You need to watch AEW, you know, at least watch AEW. That was, you know, like a couple years ago, me and Chris first started this thing, you know, 22 years, about 21 months ago when we first started this thing, you know, getting people back into wrestling. You know, watch AEW, man. It'll remind you of WCW and everything. But then you go in there, if you get out here, you try to introduce people to wrestling again, and say it's all great. Hey, Triple H is taking over creative over there in WWE. Or, you know, you got Tony Khan with AEW, and they trying to be like WCW. You introduce these people, tell them to go watch wrestling, and they come in and they watch this nonsense, man. They watch constantly over and over and over madness, man. It's just pure madness where people are getting jumped. No stars are being established. Tony Khan still have not established his 7 top, and that in any wrestling company, in my opinion, should have 7 top stars. You know, back in the day, territory, when we had the territories, you know, every wrestling company had at least 4 top stars, and some of them 7 if you had a big territory like Jim Crockett Promotions and, you know, Jim Crockett Productions, and then you had like Georgia Championship Wrestling. If you had a big enough company, you had at least 7 top stars, man, that really made your company, that really established your company. Tony Khan has not done that. He hasn't done it. Every time he established somebody, you know, they might be established for 3 weeks to maybe 2 or 3 months, and basically, man, they're gone. They're gone. So he really haven't established anybody, if you ask me. Only person really been established in that company and stayed established is Britt Baker, but she's pretty much not established anymore. Jungle Boy was established, but you don't have these established stars. You can pretty much say, what is this? You know, Orange Cassidy is established, but when it boils down to it, he's not. But you haven't had this guy. He have not established his stars. Kenny Omega was an established star, you know, but he was established because he was established over, you know, overseas. He was an established star as their champ. So basically, man, this guy still trying to establish stars by having these guys lose, having these guys getting jumped. You know, just pure madness, man. Same thing over in WWE. Now that Vince McMahon has came back to the board or whatever, and you know they sold the company, Vince McMahon looks like he's in charge to me, guys. He looks like he's in charge. At first, I'm like, okay, wait a minute. We'll step back and see. But, you know, I do believe in what he said, Vince McMahon. Take his word for it. He said that Triple H is in, creative control. He's in charge. He's completely in charge of creative control. And look, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take his word for it and say he is. But Vince McMahon has something to do with it, man. He definitely has something to do with it. They have changed. It has changed from when Triple H, when we knew he was the man, and Vince McMahon wasn't involved in it. It has changed. You can basically tell it has changed, and not just on Raw. At first, it was just Raw, but SmackDown and Raw, you can see that Vince McMahon element is in it. And when I think about it, man, I don't know. You know, Vince McMahon is older. He's come up with a lot of brilliant ideas. I don't hate on Vince McMahon. And when it boils down to it, I don't blame him for wanting to be involved in this company. Involved in some parts of creative. I don't blame him. But somebody needs to be able to shut that man down when it boils down to it. Because everything that we're getting right now is flat ridiculous, man. I mean, SmackDown was ridiculous, with all the jumping and people getting jumped. And what's the name? Who was it? Who was it, man? Braun Strowman, Ricochet, walking in the back room, just walking. Next thing you know, boom, here come the Viking Raiders. They just attack them. It's just out of nowhere. No rhyme or reason, and somebody had just got attacked right before the end. So it's nothing but attacks. I don't have to sit here and name all. If you're watching, it's easy to be seen. It's easy that it's not going to take much for you to see it and understand what is going on. And Friday night, man, Chris and I, we went to 2 independent shows here in the Carolinas. Battle Zone Pro Wrestling, and went to 3 Count Pro Wrestling. Both of those shows, man, better than what I saw from Friday Night SmackDown and Rampage. Both of those shows was better. That shouldn't be the case. And I tell you what, independent wrestling, if I could see shows, if I was guaranteed to see shows like I saw at Battle Zone and 3 Count week in and week out, that's the only wrestling I would be involved in, man. It really would be. I would not be watching WWE and AEW as much as I do, because where those guys got me, they got me like at a C+, a little bit over a C level, a little bit above average wrestling fan, and it shouldn't be that way. I used to be an A+ wrestling fan, and now I'm around a C+. So I go to some of these independents and they can get me there. But one thing about the independents, and I will say, and I will say this about that, I've seen a lot of garbage like that in the independents too. A lot of them play that monkey see, monkey do. They do the same thing that AEW and WWE does. So you have a double-edged sword there. I'm looking for somebody. I'm sorry. I'm looking for somebody to take me back to my old Mid-Atlantic days. I'm looking for somebody to take me to those Georgia Championship days. I'm looking for somebody to take me to that Florida Championship Wrestling days. I'm looking for, somebody to take me back to World-Class Championship Wrestling. I'm looking for somebody to take me back to the Southwest Championship Wrestling days. Of course, we're not going to go back to that old school territorial wrestling. Wrestlers got to have their own styles. Today, the styles are different and everything like that. I understand that 100%. I understand that 100%. But wrestling as a whole, wrestling needs to look like wrestling. I want wrestling shows. I want wrestling shows, not TV shows. SmackDown was on for 2 hours. I remember 4 matches. I think they had 4 matches, guys. If they had a 5th match, then it was very short. But I think they had 4 matches. And then last night, on Dynamite, yesterday, on Dynamite, man, it took 15. They had a 15-minute segment to start off the show. 15 flipping minutes of Darby Allin, Sammy Guevara, and who else was out there? Jungle Boy out there talking. It took, I think, at the 13-minute mark, then you had MJF come out there, and MJF said a few things. Basically, that was it, and it was a very dry promo, man. I'm just like, what is this? These guys are trying too hard, man, to give us a TV show. Give us a wrestling show that's on TV. That's what we want. That's what I desire. I know that straight up. And from the ratings, I can see a lot of people do. And, back in the day, Ric Flair, Roddy Piper, Ole Anderson, Harley Race, These guys didn't have to say, they didn't have to doggone spend 15, 20 minutes on a promo to draw people in. It didn't take that much. Get people caught into it, man. Catch people with your wrestling and catch people with short promos. That's all it is to it. Man, the name on the marquee says wrestling. I want to see wrestling, guys. I want wrestling. I mean, I don't know about you guys. I really don't. I mean, I know we don't have as many people coming in, and I know some people probably coming by and they watching, you know, and a lot of people that usually tune into the Straight Up Wrestling Show, because we get a lot. I mean, they're at work and things like that, and you probably won't see this till later on. But hey, let me know. Let me know. What do you want? Do you want a show full of drama, full of these guys just talking for 20 minutes and jumping people all day long? Or do you want pure wrestling? We want a wrestling show, guys. We want a wrestling show, straight up. But yeah, I mean, things right now are just blowing my mind. Things are blowing my mind, and I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It is, you know, all the great promoters, you know, a lot of the great promoters, they too old or they passed away. The great bookers, they either too old or they passed away. You still have a few of them out there, but you know, hey, they're not getting the chance they need to have. But what is it about this generation? You know, this generation, this group that's out here, these groups out here that's running wrestling today. What is it about them? You know, they can't come up with things off the top of it. I mean, they can't come up with new things. They can't continue to come out and come out with things that's going to motivate people to watch wrestling. You know, innovative ideas and storylines. They can't do that. I've seen so many people, especially over here on the independent scene. Oh, I could go and find some man that these people haven't seen it in 30 years, so we can pull something out that happened 30 years ago. We can pull something out that happened 50 years ago. I know people gonna like it. Of course, your ideas are gonna go back and maybe try to pull something out of that. But I'm telling you, you got to come up with your own original ideas every single week, man. You have got to be original as possible in wrestling. Because if you relying on things that happened in the past, then man, out the wild, that stuff is not going to work. It's just not. It's not. You're not going to be able to execute it. You need to be able to stay in tune with what's going on today and be able to pull things out of the hat, man. Be able to, you know, execute that with the wrestlers that you have. If you want to continue on, you know, being great. It's all about being great. Can you be great today? Straight up. Wow. That ain't my. Oh gosh. Hold on for a second, guys. Okay, I'm back. Just a moment. I want to check something out here, guys. But appreciate you joining me. And if you're on Facebook, hit that like, share, join. If you're on YouTube, hit that like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Ding, ding, ding. So you know when we're on like times like these, man. And if you're over on Twitter, hit that like, share, tweet, and retweet. Definitely appreciate each and every one of you guys out here, man. That's part of the Straight Up Wrestling Show. You part of the Straight Up Wrestling Show family, and the ones that's coming in, that's seeing us, that's never seen me nor Chris before. But yeah, Chris and I'll be on a little bit later today, and we will be doing our own draft. Straight up. Wow, man, this is getting the. All right, man, I done had it. I've had it with this tablet, boy. I've had it. All right, guys, just one moment. Wow, man, I can't believe what I'm saying here. I cannot believe what I'm saying here. Okay. All right, just one second here. I'm trying to do something here so I can see everything that's going on, not just what I'm seeing in front of me on the tablet. I tell you what, I can't stand this tablet, man. I have got to buy a new iPad. What's up, JL? What's going on with you, man? Hope your day's going well. All right. But yeah, guys, like I said, man, like I said, I mean, it's nothing but madness, nothing but madness. And so much talent is being wasted. You know, so much talent out here being wasted right now because all this madness, it just covers up everything. You know, who are the true stars? Who are the true stars out here in wrestling? You know, with an AEW, especially with an AEW, nobody's been established. Nobody can be established because it's nothing but attacks. And if anybody gets any momentum, they're being attacked. They're going to get attacked within a couple weeks after. So, hey, nobody can get any momentum to where they are going to elevate and become a real star, man. Because hey, it's like moving into that star status. Like if you get ahead in life, then you have crabs in a bucket that's going to pull you down. That is the attitude. That is what we're getting. That's what's being played out in AEW. And like I say, WWE, man, they just, I don't know. For some reason, it seemed like they're playing follow the leader when they are the leaders. They're playing follow the leader because right now, the last few weeks, all we've had is attack after attack after attack after attack on WWE. And when you have that, all that madness, when you have that much madness, nobody else can think about anything else. Nobody can think about anything in wrestling except for every single week, there's nothing but madness. It takes away the focus from the real talent. It takes away focus from talent. I mean, it's just like having chaos in your own family. It's like saying, okay, mom trying to do everything she can to keep the family together, but hey, her husband's a drunk, and he's got a son that's a drunk, and he's got a son that's constantly gambling, and he's got another son that's probably in school and you know, is trying to copy the same thing that his brothers are doing, and they got a daughter that's pretty much trying to keep herself together, trying to get her grades, keep her grades up, and trying to study at home, but have all that madness. Mom and dad is fighting and everything, and you got brothers and stuff that's coming in late, and they're being fussed at about they're drinking. You got nothing but complete madness in that house. Nothing can get done. Nobody can really shine in that situation. They can't. You have got to have some kind of balance. You have got to have some kind of order in anything, in any sport, in anything in life. You got to have some kind of balance at a job or whatever. There's a bunch of people working at a job, man. You got to have some kind of balance. You have got to have some kind of order. You know, I know wrestling is violence, you know, and attacks always been part of the wrestling business. That's fine. But constantly, all the time, every single segment, it can't go down that way, man. And somebody getting attacked, man, what made it so great back in the day? Somebody hardly getting attacked. Somebody got attacked. Then that other person, they doing what they can to get revenge somewhere down the road, somewhere down the road. But you don't even give these people time to get revenge no more. The same person that was attacked the week, you know, this week might be attacked the next week and be attacked again the next week. That's all they doing is being attacked all the time. They never get a chance for revenge. And then when they finally meet them at a pay-per-view or big show or something like that, then they get attacked again. It's flat ridiculous, man. It's flat ridiculous. And then it makes somebody like me who stopped watching wrestling for a long time, a number of years, because I was so fed up with what the NWO was doing. It makes a person like me sit back and say, hey, what am I investing my time in? What am I doing? What am I looking at? Because I want to see wrestlers established. I want to see superstars established. I don't tune into wrestling just to see Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes is the top contender for that title. I don't tune into wrestling for that. And then you had Cody Rhodes being jumped by Brock Lesnar. Okay, why? Okay, setting up something with him and Brock, but hey, man, you have Brock come out there and Brock say, I'm gonna team up with you. Hey, but hey, look, I want to take you down. I want to be the #1 contender for that title. So him and Brock, man, basically just have a war. But hey, trying to set up something. When will Brock attack him again? Because we know that's what Brock does. Brock attacks people. When will he get a clear shot to attack Cody again? Because that's what he does. But that's what wrestling is about. Hey, man, I'm going to turn on TV today, man. I'm watching wrestling attacks. You attacking people, stomping people out, choking people out. That's what they do. That's what they do. And, man, I want to see people established. It takes away, like I say, it takes away from talent. Takes away from talent. Because I want to see talent. I want to see talent being established to where I can say, okay, man, hey, wow, I'm tuning into wrestling because I want to see these one-on-one greats that they have to be able to go in there, have a match, and establish themselves man to man. Who made the best man win? Made the best woman win? That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. I can't even remember the matches that's one-on-one because everything wrestling is so clouded. It's so much of this attacking going on. I can't even remember. I can't even focus on matches that didn't have that. And that's sad, man. That's sad. Real sad. I mean, instead of focusing on Gunther's great IC run, all I'm thinking about is all the violence that's going on around him with Imperium and all the rest of these guys. And then, Gunther having to fight 2 and 3 people. And a lot of times they attack people. But, man, I'm more focused on that. And Sheamus and Drew McIntyre and Ridge Holland and Butch, all these guys, man, just constantly fighting on the outside, doing this, doing that. Nothing's being established. Nothing good's coming out of it. Nothing. Seth Rollins, man, was one of the guys I was focused on. One of the main stars, man. I can't even focus on him now. I cannot. I'm just like, man, when he comes out, I'm like, oh, wow, man, breath of fresh air. I'm seeing Seth Rollins. It's flat ridiculous, man. It has gotten flat ridiculous. But like I say, SmackDown for Friday night was ridiculous. And I'm glad I didn't see it live. I'm glad I didn't see it live after I saw that. Because compared to that indie show that I went to Friday night, no comparison, man. No comparison. And like I said, it happens on the indies. Me and Chris, we was involved with an indie company, and I don't know if anybody on Facebook or whatever listening, they know what indie company we was involved in. We was going week after week. The same thing that WWE was doing, they was doing. WWE and AEW was doing, they was doing. Attack after attack after attack. People getting into the ring, talking for 15, 20 minutes. That's all it was. That's how it was. Then we started going to all these different indie shows, and a lot of them, like I say, some of them, they right on the money. I want to see wrestling, man. Give me a wrestling show. Don't give me all this chaos, man. Don't give me all this madness. Do not waste talent. Do not waste the fans. Do not waste the fans' time. Do not waste our time, man. There's so many other things we can be doing instead of watching your flipping show, and we cannot establish real stars. Stars that was legendary, stars that made us want to watch wrestling. All right, man. I see Magnum's in the house. Let me go ahead and get to some comments here, man. All right. Before, because I'm all over the place. But, of course, my man Jocko Robinson in the house, all the way from South Africa. What's up, Jocko Robinson? Hope everything's going good over there in your part of the world, man. My man JL says, yo, what's up? JL says, have you heard of the Sheamus Celtic Warrior workouts? Yeah, I've heard of that, JL. JL says, there was some drama people are not happy with. Hobbs losing, and I completely agree. I'm not happy with that either, JL. I mean, that right there should not have happened, man. It shouldn't have happened. All right, JL said, first it was Ethan Page being attacked, brawl. Let me see, put it on right here. being attacked, Brawl, then Hobbs losing, man. AEW is pushing their luck and patience with me. If Jay loses, I am done and breaking my rule with giving them until summer. I hear you, JL. JL, I've had enough with AEW. They are constantly making the good guys lose and being screwed out with these brawls. Matt Hardy is joining up with his junkie brother to screw over Ethan Page. Wow, man, you're a trip, man. JL, pro wrestling barn NXT is messy, but hey, we got some great news. Sheamus is doing one of his Celtic Warrior workouts with Braun Breaker. I am hyped. Friday is looking like an amazing day. We'll see, man. We will see. That sounds pretty cool. Magnum says, preach, brother Harry. Appreciate it, Mag. No doubt, man. JL, I agree. Gunther is being booked strong, yet his group is always losing. I think Giovanni should have stayed in NXT when he had a character and possibly a mid-carder on the main roster. No doubt about it. No doubt. No doubt. Look, and JL said, I am sorry, but WWE and AEW are both having issues with brawls. NXT feels like the perfect mix. Not too many brawls, and when they do have them, they are warranted. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Look, and man, I'm supposed to be watching NXT. Haven't watched that today. I'm supposed to be watching that. I do got a lot of stuff to do. So it's gonna be hard, but I think I'm gonna get to it. Chris, I'm gonna be going over Chris's house in just a little while here, guys. I'm gonna take off over to Chris's house, and we're gonna sit down and we're gonna talk about this this draft that we're gonna have. And like I said, I'm gonna be Raw. He's gonna be SmackDown. We're gonna have go and flip a coin, see who goes first. But yeah, we definitely gonna go ahead and do that a little bit later on. Chris actually wanted to do it around 4:30, but yeah, I will be leaving over there that way in a little while, man, so we can pretty much do that draft. So guys, look out for that. I'll pin it up here, let you guys know when we go on live. Chris don't want to go on tonight to do it. I'd rather do it tonight, but Chris want to go ahead and do it and get it out of the way. I understand that why he wants to do that. His wife does come home around 7, and he doesn't want to get he doesn't want to end up having to do some things, and pretty much it throws him behind. So, because like I say, this draft, we don't know how long it's going to take, but we're definitely going to do that draft, and we will do an independent draft later on. But, man, I think that's going to be pretty exciting. You guys will appreciate that. But, yeah, man, I'm just like, I am so caught up. I'm so caught up in the madness, which causes confusion. And I'm so caught up with talent being wasted because of the madness. And when I talk about madness, I'm talking about the constant jump-ins, the constant fighting, the constant factions, the constant attacking. It's just all night long. And wow, man, when you have to pay your money to go in there and see that, it don't make no sense. It really don't, man. It really don't. I will feel so ashamed as a promoter or as a booker that people are leaving my show and that's all they saw. They saw 6 matches, 4 of them say they see 6 matches, 4 of them was attacks. Or if they see 7 or 8 matches and 80-90% of them was attacks, man. Well, nobody finished cleanly. There was no clean wins. And JL, I know you like a lot of the heels and things like that. And I know you like to see a lot of those matches. That is cool too. If somebody ends up cheating or whatever they have to do to win, that's cool too. But all the time having somebody come running out of the back, jumping in the ring, every time I turn around, you have to hear somebody else's music pop up. A hook or whoever. You don't even know me or whatever. Here comes somebody coming in, and I know the 2 guys that I just played, they faces, but I'm just using that as a scenario. I'm always hearing somebody's music coming out, about it, and these guys gonna jump somebody. Man, I'm just like, oh gosh, I've had it with all that. I mean, it's oh gosh, wow. I'm hoping Vince McMahon. I'm just hoping that he just leave Triple H alone, man. Leave him alone. Let him do his thing. Let him put people in position that can handle this, handle these booking duties, handle this creative. Leave the man alone. Cause yeah, Shawn Michaels getting it done. And I tell you what, if NXT, if their ratings start going up, they get up around 700,000-800,000. I guarantee you Vince will stick his nose in that. Guarantee it. I guarantee it. And like I say, I don't hate Vince McMahon. I'm not like a lot of other people. I'm not wishing he just up and just boom, get out of there from his company. See him gone. But man, I wish he would just sit back and let somebody else run the company. Let other people run his company. Because man, I just, from what I'm seeing with him, he's just like, let's just have constant chaos. Because I think it's in his mind, man, he's kind of old. He can't come up with a whole bunch of new stuff like he did before. And it's not that. I mean, he might have not kept himself sharp by letting a lot of other people take control. Because this writing, other people writing, that started happening years ago. Him letting a whole bunch of other people write. That started happening a long time ago. All right, man. JL draft #1 pick. JL. Hey, imagine paying money for front row seats for the Raw after Mania. Yikes. Exactly, man. I think it was 16 minutes of wrestling. I know at the 2:45 mark, it was 16 minutes of wrestling. You maybe got 20 minutes of wrestling that night. No, that was bad. All right, JL cheating. I will never support or condone cheating. Yeah, whatever, man. Except when it benefits the good guys like Chelsea Green or Theory. Okay. Wow, man. Wow. But I tell you what, guys, I didn't plan on coming on here alone. But yeah, I will stay on just a little while longer. But yeah, I definitely, like I said, I definitely have a problem. I definitely have a problem with what's going on today, man. But hey, whatever platform you're on, definitely, man, do me a favor, hit that like button. If you like this rant, if you like what I'm doing here, definitely hit that like button. And I know I'm just floating on. I'm just moving. I'm just basically getting a lot of, I'm getting a lot tongue tied here. I'm just, like I say, I'm all over myself about this whole thing. I really am. Because I'm like, wow, man. Because, I sat up last night late after I watched Dynamite and we did our live stream. And I went ahead and I worked out and I watched, while I'm working out, I was about to go to the gym to do it, but I decided to work out here at home. And I ended up watching SmackDown and I watched NXT and I'm just like, wow. I'm like, wow. Not NXT. I watched SmackDown and I watched Rampage. I was meaning to watch. I wish I would have went ahead and watched NXT, but I went ahead and did SmackDown and Rampage because I'm just trying to catch up for the week. And then I want to have NXT, put NXT and have that fresh in my mind so I can compare all the wrestling shows. I definitely want to give SmackDown and I want to give Rampage for starting off the week and see how they compare to NXT. Instead of, jumping on NXT and say, hey, this is the best show, even though I know a lot of our viewers have already said that NXT is the best show, was the best show of the week. And the way it's looking is definitely going to be the best show of the week, unless SmackDown has a knock it out of the park tomorrow, man. But I have no clue. I have no clue if they will or not. I have no clue. But I know one thing, man. I know one thing. I am getting so caught up with what's going on. I'm getting so used to it. And that's one thing that I try my best not to. Getting used to it. Getting used to that and getting used to seeing that. And don't expect anything else. Because when you get used to that, after a while, you be like, okay, this is wrestling. This is what they're giving us. This is what they're feeding us. I got to sit back. I got to relax. And I got to enjoy it if I want to watch wrestling. Excuse me. I didn't want to get into that mindset, man. But for some reason, I feel like that's happening to me. That they're drawing me into that. They're drawing me into that if I continue to watch this. So I definitely think I'm going to sit back and go back and watch a lot of old Jim Crockett promotions and WCW and things like that from back in the day. Because I'm basically right now, man, I tell you what, I'm getting drawn into that. That's what wrestling is today. And it doesn't have to be that way, man. Definitely don't have to be that way. All right, JL says, okay, I take that back. When people cheat, I am cool with it, except Mello. Man, that still pisses me off. Okay, I hear you, man. I definitely hear you. But I'll tell you what, guys, I am flipping tired for some reason. Man, I'm gonna end up having get some coffee in me or something like that, some tea. But I am tired, man. So I'm gonna let you guys go. until later on. I mean, I'm gonna let you guys go because I'm waiting for my nephew to actually get off the bus. When he gets off the bus, you know, I'm gonna check him out, make sure everything's cool with him, and then I'm heading over to Chris's house, man, and we are gonna get this thing together so we can do this draft. But man, I'm HBT for the Straight Up Wrestling Show. Appreciate everybody coming in. I will see you guys later. Stay straight up. Peace. So, all right, peace out, Jay.